the Ferdouse, teaching you how to draw and learn art techniques using the Paintology drawing app. And you'll see here, this is the tutorial I was doing this morning. And the theme is seascape. So I first started out block coloring, laying down the foundational colors using a broad brush, 20%, the line brush, sticking to the line brush. And then I proceeded to do the sky, blend the sky using the shade brush. Then I'd reduce the brush size to do the horizon, work my way down to the rocks here, which I haven't done. I had to stop, but I did get to the ripple, the waves that are settling at the distance here, because this was dedicated to my daughter who wanted for me to show her how to draw the sea, the waves in the sea and everything, the colors of the sea. So this was the reason for doing that. So this is on my phone, and you could use any Android phone or tablet and just download the Paintology app from the Google Play Store. That's all you need, the free Paintology app. The whole aim of Paintology is for you to learn art techniques. So it's not necessarily about doing the same thing as the majority of the drawing apps do, which is just use tools to draw and nothing, and not teach you real art techniques, which is my aim here. And art techniques, as you know, have been around for centuries in the traditional art medium. It's the reason why I can draw like this. I can show you a few other drawings as well, so you will know that the techniques that I apply cannot be replicated with just using digital tools alone. For example, this one, that was something I did live stream yesterday. Cottage, and my daughter had to come closer to the phone to see if it wasn't a photograph, actually, which is quite flattering. She's 9 years old, by the way. So this is how quickly you can do it, block coloring again, and proceeded to use the techniques. Just keep in mind that the only two brush I use is the line and the shade brush for these demonstrations. And that's all you need. You don't need all the other auto corrections, layers, one thing. If you want to be a graphics designer, artist, illustrator, animation, 3D gamer, graphics, yeah, they can go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. That's perfectly fine, because I'm a very advanced user of Photoshop. But when it comes to drawing, the pleasure of drawing is the similar to traditional drawing, and that's what I bring to this app in Paintology. Yeah. So let's head back and see if I can show you a few more drawings. There's the cottage I did, and also I did the stream, which I quite like. You might like that too. This one. This was done initially with some block coloring, and then suddenly the app, because I'm working with a prototype app for the next release of the app, but the app you have is perfectly fine. And so the developer has asked me to make drawings with this. And then we found some memory. We're trying to solve memory issues here, but so what happened was the app somehow went into some gray mode, and then I had to reload it. And then I didn't have the original, so I decided to scrap everything and just do it by freehand. So most of the foreground up to the tree line, up to the tree, has all been done using freehand drawing and looking at the reference image on another device, yeah? So this is what you can achieve if you understand tones. And block coloring is what really rapidly improves your understanding of tones. You go to any art class in drawing, they'll talk about shading. If not tones and values, they'll talk about shading. That's all they'll do. And even in painting, they will talk about tones and values as well, mixing colors. So let me show you a few things first. This is where I keep all my historical data of the live stream. You can see coming up 3rd October. We're on the second channel, Ferdouse, and we've got this reference image here. So I picked quite a complex one, but you know what? You should always challenge yourself. If you don't, you're not gonna learn. If you asked me 2 months ago, would I pick something like that? I would probably have some hesitation because the the daily lessons I've been giving you guys has really improved my and given me boosted my confidence and giving me more insight into the Paintology where I can help you with. So this is also helping me. Don't think it's just just teaching a one-way street. It's actually helping me a lot. So I've just downloaded that image, and so you can see all the completed drawings, like for example here, it's a drawing I did. You can go down and see all the completed drawings. Yeah, this was done in landscape. This one, you see all these previously were done in landscape. It was a rose I did. I'm quite proud of that one, actually. It's quite nice. That was with the pencil shading using a combination of line and shade. So let's go back and then, before I do that, let me show you a few more items here. If you're serious about learning fundamental and core skills of art, if you just want to doodle, it's fine. Yeah, go ahead, doodle. But, I'd like to, when I do something, I'd like to take it up a notch if I can. And I'm pretty sure those who have the patience to sit through my tutorials want to do the same. And so I encourage you to go into the Paintology classroom. You'll find the link in the description, Google Forms classroom, and you'll find this one is so many tutorials. It's structured so you can learn by doing. So this for example, I'll give you one here. Absolute beginners. Draw a fairy. It's actually referring to search ID. You can see here 257. So this actually pulls up the tutorial that's already on the app. So let me show you when I get 257. There. So it's found the tutorial that that particular class will do. It's allowing you to draw a silhouette. So you pick a dark color and just paint, with the 100% density. And then that's you're learning, and then you zoom in, then you can rotate, and you can do that. So that's teaching you how to improve your brush strokes. Yeah. So these, and then you can save it, and when you save it, everything goes into my paintings. Everything will go in my paintings. So this classroom is really powerful because it takes so many different. Like go to, let's go to another. Draw a leopard. Yeah. Again. Taking a bit of time to open. Okay, there it is, 319. And you search for 319, it'll pull up the thing. So pull up. So it's actually highly structured and it's a lot more than you think. So I would encourage you to go through this and do some classwork, and then you will rapidly improve your art skills, and the teacher will be amazed at how well you understand tones, values, improved your drawing. So you're going to far exceed other people in the when it comes to art. And I'm talking about digital art. I'm talking about every art medium that you can think of. Yeah. So I come from a traditional, so I encourage you to look at this more closely. So let's dive in, and I think I've covered everything. Yeah, I think so. So let's dive in. So this is a Note 10 phone that I'm using, and I'm going to open up that image that we're going to draw, and then we're going to go ahead and this drawing is I picked specifically because you have to understand the tonal values of these rocks, and the whole scene is like with a subdued light, meaning that sitting under a darker light, which actually means that the drawing that you do of the rocks will be a little bit more forgiving as opposed to when a sunshiny day, when the sun is high, because the contrast is exceptionally high, but the contrast here is low. And I've shown that in some of my drawings. And the reason why sunset drawings are a breeze to do, relatively easy, because they're all lying in the upper threshold of the tonal value scale. And you can now pose that question to your art teacher, and they will probably frown and say, how did you know that? Where did you get that from? Well, no, the beauty of it is that digital art allows you exact values to practice with an exact platform. So now you can't make an excuse that you can't draw because you have the same phone, same app, or you have a similar phone, same app, and then that's it. Where you go, and you can learn from this. So the first thing we're going to do is it's an easier way. So this is because I was working on the seascape scene, and I love this wave that's here, that's crashing up, so high up, and love the scenery of the sky. And we can do a number of things, and we can say it's all under our control, right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep it simple so you learn. The whole idea is that you want to learn from drawing with me, and then if you don't have, what experience level do you need? Zero. As long as you can lift a pen and you can write, you'll be able to do this, yeah? And then it's only at the latter stage that you may find a little bit difficulty because I'm using some of my inner talent to finish off the drawing and make it look realistic. And I don't expect you to do that in one sitting, but I'm expecting you to get to the block coloring done. Okay, so we're going to do the block coloring. Okay, this is a really lovely way of transitioning colors to your drawing canvas, and that's really training you in the ideas of tones that are happening in this reference image. Before, traditionally, we had none of these advanced controls, color picker and all that, or traced in this mode, but nobody's used trace. And I have taken trace to such a high level, to a level where it can be utilized effectively for learning. That's the whole intention of this trace bar here, tracing. So I loaded this image in trace, and you can load any image of your choice and then use this block coloring for anything. I've drawn some of the famous paintings by Constable and Monet, and then I've used this trace method. Of course, I do freehand as well, but this really rapidly improves your understanding of tones as well as allowing you to draw. If you think you can't draw, you should try this, all right? So here you are. So we've got block coloring, and what are we going to do? We look at this whole image, and then we're going to transfer. This lower half is our drawing canvas. So watch what happens when I pick a color. Transfer. Look, this is on my canvas, and our canvas is going to turn into a beautiful piece of art eventually. That's the ultimate aim. And this is all the reference image, right? So if I'm here, cursor position is the top half, I can pick colors. Look at the colors I'm picking, the sky. But if I'm in the lower half, I pick white anywhere, but I can pick the colors of my own drawing canvas, right? Makes sense? Very easy, nothing complex about that. So I've got this 14%, and I'm wondering if I should increase it to 20% and then start doing the block coloring. That's all it is. It's taking these colors of the sky. Wherever you see tonal changes, just use the color picker to pick the colors. And I've got it 100%. Yeah, line brush, 22%, okay? That's all I'm doing. I'm just tapping into these tones. Block color picker, tapping into this tone to get this beautiful cloud that's happening here. And I can go very rapidly, no big deal. Just why am I picking the color picker? Because I want the colors that's local to those clouds. See how the clouds have changed? Perfect, isn't it? That's all I need. You have so much power over the digital. The reason why I was able to build such an application is because I have a technical background. I'm not an artist by training, formal training. I don't have any formal training, but I was always good at art when I was a little kid. Maybe my art teacher will be happy to see me do what I'm doing now. So my primary focus is to build something that's going to work. Look, see what I did? So now I'm going to switch it down. That's because I've done most of the colors, but I'm not going to get into these smaller details. So I can quite easily just take it down half and see if I can get these, yeah, smaller colors. Yeah, why not? Those smaller colors that are. Can you see this? The color changes. I can see those clouds. So I'm just picking the tones and getting those clouds. Wherever there's a tonal change. Now I'm seeing that landmass which is changing. That's it. And then that beautiful sky on the horizon. Right, I'm going to tap into that. Then color picker. So all you need to do. There, do you see that change? So just go wherever the colors are. Now I can see the land over there. Just keep using the color picker. Why am I using the color picker? Because I don't want the same blocky color, because there are tonal variations on this drawing and it's happening all the time. The tones are changing. Even for this land you see appearing at the back, believe me, there are tonal variations going on which your eyes cannot see. But that's what gives the whole painting life, because of this wonderful tonal changes that goes on in nature. Any objects you see, tonal. I'm just going below that line of cloud. So I've got a good brush size at 9%, still at 100%, okay? So I hope you're following along to me, because this is super fun drawing. You're missing out if you're not. See how we managed to get the blue now, the sky. So you can see that we picked the right color. And then this lovely cloud here. We'll flesh it out as we get better, so you understand how this all works. Very, very easy. Nothing complicated about it. I'm trying to follow the shape of that cloud. you don't have to be exact, because we're not producing exact replica. People just do not understand that digital drawing is a lot more powerful and not about tools. It's not about creating digital art with tools, and sadly it's become like that because everyone thinks digital art should be done in that particular way, right? Okay, let's look at the sky now. Okay, we've done the sky, right? Wonderful, isn't it? And we haven't got to the details yet, and then we will. But right now I'm just trying to lay down everything. Now we're going to go to do that midsection. So I zoom in so I can get close to the detail and add this, and then even change the brush if you have to, so you can get into the details, so it saves your work, right? Then while you're up there and you see any areas, hate when that happens. So notice I'm sort of rotating the image as well, so I can get better control, I'm more comfortable in drawing with the right strokes, because just very similar to someone, moving, rotating their A4 size paper. And remember, with this powerful zoom feature of the phone, this whole drawing canvas can be like an A3 size paper. Believe it or not, it's a big size paper. If you ever get bored on the bus, instead of just giving Facebook all the attention, just pull out your phone and just draw like this. So much more fun. You don't have to even play games. This is way more. It takes time out. You're not thinking too hard. You're letting your mind sort of wander off into a distance, as though you're in this scene. So you're basking in that sun. Yeah, this is the way most artists think. And the reason why they do these landscape, they always love to do landscape. So I'm just capturing the tones really quickly. Can you see the tones are dark here and there's blue here? Yeah, just go with that block coloring. This is all it is. And then you can go into the tiny details and we'll figure out what to do once we've got the bulk of the tones down using this. You see how I'm sort of moving, keeping away from that dark region, and then selecting the color picker, and then selecting the color picker for the rock. Okay, that's all it is. So I'm just trying to capture the essence of, even though there are tiny pebbles here, I'm not worried about that. All I'm doing is capturing the same tonal values that are showing up. And now again, just picking the color picker, that's all I'm doing. But any dark areas like this, for example, because I've got the good brush size, I can just, as you see, I changed the tones here, That's all it is. If you can write, you can surely do this. I mean, why would you have any difficulty doing this? You're not really drawing, you're just following this, the tonal variation. It really tunes your brain to, because remember, we're transferring this color to our canvas, and that's going to be the first stage of our drawing. It's called the drawing process, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. See how I'm going across this stone? I can see some dark tones there, some light tones, and just filling it in, that's all. I'm not worried about the tiny facets. You can see this and filling that in. There, that's all I'm doing. You'll see that the top stone has a light tone. This is how most artists will paint. They will see these variations in tones and they will just do it. That's why when you have a big canvas, huge, monstrous canvas, you can go a little haywire. And you can go, that's why the large canvases allows you to capture lots of detail because you're looking at it from a distance. But when you get closer, if you go to a museum and look at the closer to the actual paintings, the mishmash of colors like this, what I'm doing. All right, let's go. Keep going down here. Look at these tones. It's up to you what you want to do. I got 5.5% brush. That's all I have in the line brush. And then I'm going to add a little bit more. There's tonal variation, light here. Can you see how that changed? And then there's another light here, right? And then it's a bit, and then dark here, and dark here, and another tone here. See there? And then we got a light tone here. So we go around normally I go around the perimeter. Then look at these tones, how they change. That's rock. So all we're doing, just capturing these tones. Right, the colors of these beautiful, wonderful, rocky stones. Look at the tone how it's changed, shifted in color, dark to the other side. So it's done. Let's go all the way there. Look, that's a dark. That's a light here. That's a dark tone here. Then dark here. And then some light there. And then another dark here. Got it? There. Then dark here, this dark tone. Then there's some, and then I don't know. So that's why I pick the color picker all the time. Light tone. Look at how that tone changed. This is nobody's really had, they talk about tonal painting, but nobody's really had the appreciation of tonal until now when I've encapsulated this method of painting into the digital. You can ask your art teacher what tonal painting is about, and they will tell you it's very similar to what I'm doing here, picking out tones as a means of painting different tones and not really worried about anything else. And then when you get closer in resolution, with even I tend to go to 1% brush size, so you can tell how much detail I can pick up with that. And then of course I'll be zooming into like 800% as opposed to 240% now. Yeah, look at that. Get all these tones, different tones, all come out there. Let's see what we've got so far. That's pretty good. We're almost done there. See how quick and rapid you can do this? Very rapid. It's a shame. I'm going to have to save this and open it up again. So go home, save again. So I have to open it up again. So that's the thing, because I'm working with a prototype. I wouldn't worry about it for your... because your app is perfectly fine. The reason why I'm doing that is because we're working with certain devices and we're testing for memory leaks. So the developer has asked me to work with this prototype app, which I'm happily doing. But your app is downloaded from the Google Play Store, so it's perfectly been tested and before we launched it. So we're bringing out another new release probably in the near future, about 2-3 weeks away. But right now I'm doing a lot of content for all these users who love to draw on their phone, all these artists, but they haven't come across this method of painting. Even ChatGPT thinks that to become a good digital artist, you need a mastery of tools, which is not completely wrong, because that's how most people use. They think the tools are going to be there. There's going to be there, the savior to all art. That's totally wrong. Your artistic skills and talent, that's going to make you the star that you want to become in art. So this is an excellent way. In fact, the paintings that I do are now becoming like going beyond the traditional way I would draw and paint. That's that I'm thinking that that I will be that I may have to reevaluate where my artwork is at the moment. Maybe sell a few on NFTs, who knows. Just to raise enough money for keeping this free enterprise going for the time being. But if you can help in any way, do let me know. So far, everything has been free. I've been doing it out of the goodness of my interest and passion. So everything is free at the moment, but I can't guarantee you how long that will remain. But take advantage of this while you can. Free tutorials. All right, so let's have a look. Okay. See how quickly we've covered the whole region. That's a nice, beautiful blue color. And the color picker, I actually invented this block coloring while I was waiting in the hospital in the waiting area, and then I decided I'm gonna do something different. That's how you bring out creative stuff. You won't bring out creative stuff, or you won't improve what you're doing if you don't experiment. If you do the same thing again and again, you're not really learning, are you? You have to go outside your comfort zone. Oh, practically done. There's a big rock here. Picking these colors, maybe different colors. This is pretty much how any artist, traditional artist, would paint. It's nothing really different. They would first lay down bulky colors, then gradually go to smaller brushes, very much the same way that I'm doing in digital. Practically done now, isn't it? 5%. Normally I don't use 5%, I would, but since there are a lot of details, I needed to actually. You could do this by freehand. You're welcome to do it by the whole thinking and is that you want to learn the skills first, and then you can go ahead and do it freehand creativity. You can check out many of the freehand drawings I've done anyway on the videos, but that skill only comes about having acquired these skills that I'm showing you right now. So I know many of you would like to take a shortcut to, so we live in a shortcut world, isn't it? Quick gratification. Okay, I'm quite anxious now to finish this. Okay. We can decide how we're gonna. Okay, practically done, I think. Just this bit of the stone here. I think we've done that. Let's look. Oh, it's got some kind of a shape and form, isn't it, of the original? Isn't it? That's a good job. How long did that take us? Maybe 30 minutes or something? So let's save that. Okay, and then let's decide what we're going to do. Let's try and separate it into various parts so it's better to handle it. So let's do the sky, because look at the sky, it's very fluffy. We could go ahead and use the shade brush, but I think I would like to stick to the line brush and then show you this, the density setting. This is all you need. Have you noticed I'm not going to run to any tools, I'm just using the shade brush to have control over the opacity. Well, what I mean by the opacity is the hardness of the density, or hardness and density of the line. For example, think of this 100% means that if you pick a color, it will lay down that particular color and tone. And if you go over it, it's going to keep continuing to put that same tonal value. But if you're at 50%, you'll notice that the tones is like halved. Have you noticed what happens? It's like halved, right? And then it goes lighter and lighter. And what that means is that as it goes lighter and lighter, it means you have to add more to the brush strokes. It means go over it several times, multiple times to get to the actual tone here. So it's behaving exactly like a pencil, except that we have far more control over this. You know, so many different gradients that you could not get with traditional materials, right? very high degree, and we can control the density this way, and that's how I achieve some of the effects on this. And so the other method I'm going to use is I'm going to switch this back and forth to see if I've got the right sort of texture and feel and fluffiness by using this density setting. So let me keep it at 10 for now, 10%, and then I got a density of 25%. Okay, let's try that and see what happens. Okay, just watch what I do at the corner of these clouds, because I want to achieve, if you click back and forth, if you click the left icon of the trace bar, you'll keep going back and forth between your reference, your image here, and the reference. Okay, watch that. See, so I'm going to create this cloudy like effect. How do I do that? I've got it 10%, and I'm going to pick the color picker and pick this color. See what happens when I just do swirling. It's like Bob Ross, isn't it? See what happens there? I'm sort of merging these colors to the next, because I told you about the density settings, isn't it? I've already told you how the density setting works, yeah? So let's just do a bit more of this. Look at that. Just creates kind of a cloudy effect, doesn't it? That's all we're doing. Nothing complicated. I picked that brown color just to take it to the next region, and then I pick this brown here, giving it a diffusing those hard edges. Again, this brown here, it's very easy. You try it on your phone, it's so easy. Just pick any color and just do the swirling strokes here. Swirling. And it will look like a cloud. It must surely look like a cloud. Look, there's some really light areas here. We can get to that, but first just diffuse this. All right, and then I'll show you how we can just diffuse this so we don't have any of these harsh edges we left behind, right? And then add that seem to have a pretty good brush size. I don't need to do much with that. Okay. And then keep looking to see what's happening. I'm not creating the absolute details of what's on the original reference. I'm just creating my own world, isn't it? See how that beautiful is? Almost like create a cloud by itself. Let's have a look. That's looking good, isn't it? Let's keep doing that, and then seeing if we can keep improving this. Okay, look at these. So we got that even black here. And let's stick to the 10% brush. Just feel around, practice, see what's happening. Then take this blue, not blue, I don't know what color that is. And then use some of that gray as well to be diffused into whatever area, right? So color picker, and then pick this brown that takes some of that black region out. Swirly round strokes. Swirly round strokes. you can look at it again and see what. Remember, you're doing all this because you understand the properties and control. You have control over this brush and what it can do. That's all you're doing. So because I got to go through the whole class, and I'm trying to. I'm thinking, can I finish this drawing in one sitting? I'd like to. That's my primary objective if I can. But if it gets too complicated, I usually finish and then take it out. Do finish the drawing when I have some free time in the day. Let's have a look what we have. Let's look at that beautiful blue. I'm going to capture that blue that goes up. Let's capture that blue. Goes up to the top here. Right. And then since we're at the low-hanging clouds, you can guess now we're going to have to reduce the brush a little bit. But for now, let's play with what we've got so far, right? Just lay down. Right, let's see what we have. That's much better than before, isn't it? Okay, so we got that beautiful bright light that's coming. So I'm going to diffuse this brown here. And then I'm going to pick some of that brown and make it look like a cloud. Then pick some of that. Right, and then pick some of that. Pick some of this. Make sure it's not. Is that a valley? Yeah, I think that's a valley. So you need to be careful. The sky ends here. So let's diffuse this. Wow, that's a beautiful cloud there. And we can go right down and do the details of those clouds. But for now, let's go reduce it in half of what we had, 25%. Okay, and let's continue diffusing. What is that lovely brown? Let's extend that brown. Look at that, how this works with this density setting, right? And then we have that blue here. We have these little spots of yellow cloud in the horizon. Then we have this blue type there. Right, then we have this lovely white fading. It's very white here. And then we have this pink that just, that's amazing, isn't it? What you can do with that. Just that. Can you see that? The black cloud here. Shimmering cloud. Right, so I think we got a little bit, but we could obviously do a lot better. But at least we got so far. I mean, come on, limited time. That's all it takes, isn't it? And now, do you see? Take a look at this drawing, and this was a good reason. Let me save this. Okay, this is our canvas, and this is the reference image. This is where we got up to, and look at this. You can see the softness or the hardness, how it changes. If you look at the horizon now, it's actually a lot harder than the diffuse setting of the sky that's falling on the distant land over there. And then you can see light peeping through a valley in the center here, right? Valley through a center here, right? I can do that because I can get away with it. And then you can see that below that, the lines are becoming a little more denser. What does that mean? Yep, you got it. If you understand what's going on, because I had 25%, I'm going to increase the density. And then now I'm going to go into the details of the horizon and do the drawing, okay? So to do that, I'm going to do something really quick because we've got so much. I'm not going to zoom in so much. So I'm gonna do something quick. I got 4.5. Let me take it down to 4%, 3.7%, and let me pick this horizon there, and then see if we can get this. That's not a dark color enough. So let's pick this. Still not dark enough. So we need to take that down, take the density down up a bit. Then look what I'm doing. I'm trying to draw a line that goes through. Instead, just trying to, that's why zooming helps. And then I'm not quite dark there. So I need to take it down. And then I'm going to come to my drawing. There, that's better. Okay, so let's take that off. That's more like it. That looks like a house, doesn't it? And then we have another bits of land. I'm going to try and work without the zoom. It's a bit too harsh. I need to take it down 48% or 50, thereabouts. Right, and then the other thing I want to do is these wonderful light scenes there shining through. So if we go over it again, we're going to get that tone, right? And then you notice here, get this lovely blue tone, not that color, and we can increase the brush a little bit. Just get this blue tones, take that out. Look at the brush, look, these lovely tones of the fiery, the fiery, how do you call it? The spray. Right there. And then we've still got this dark color going on in the distance, and add that. Okay, so we got that. Now we got this. We need to sort of refine that just a tad. Right? Don't have to be exact. Right? And then we can say, well, look, we got these wonderful streaks of water. Right? And then I got this wonderful streaks of water coming up, just giving the illusion. Can you see it? And then we got this lovely blue wave crashing up from the. We just want to capture that, isn't it? So I'm doing something a little different to what I would typically do. I'd zoom in, but I think you guys want to see how you can do these details. So look at these black here. These are the black that's been, so I'm just refining that. Pick another color. And then pick another color of the wave and just drag it, okay? Don't be afraid, just drag it. We haven't quite got that wave yet, captured that wave yet, but we will. Trust me, I don't give up. And we're going to have 4%. So it's fine because we're going to do much of the drawing it without moving, zooming in. And I want to, you see all these areas that we haven't touched. Let's now look at our drawing and just transfer what we can. Doesn't have to be exactly, does it? Pick these colors. Look, you really need precision work for this, but that's fine. Yeah, there. Then I got these brush going up here. Now this is something different. I'm not used to doing it like this. I would zoom in, but you know what? The phone is so powerful. It allows, and it's quite a big screen. So I want to finish this in one go. So therefore I'm just refining it while I can see these colors. If it's too harsh, just lower the density. Then I'm going to take it down there. You'll get the idea that you need to play with this to get the effects, right? Look at that. That's a line, water that's coming in, seeping through here and here. It's just giving the illusion, right? Look how we're capturing the whole sense of the whole drawing by just tones, picking out tones. Let's get that. Just get that shape of that rock defined, yeah. I'm sorry, I got to take a quick pause. Hello, apologies. I had a incoming call. So let's look at this. It's quite interesting having to draw what I'm seeing. And now let's see. Let's take these colors. Look at these. These are like fans. Like, wow, look at that. They're like almost like the water. Right, and then if we can see a lovely little blue here. And then on there we got this nice, lovely textures. We're actually adding more texture to this in a way without really adding texture. Everyone, if you're doing digital, you'll rush off to tools to do that, isn't it? Textures. But you create the textures. Create the textures digitally, with your brush. So let's see if we can complete this. We're gonna complete this. I'm gonna set this up just purely by looking at right. Just getting the textures here. If I'm not getting the textures, I'll get the it's a totally different way I would normally draw. But that's the beauty of drawing, is that you can come up with techniques that you never thought possible. And that's the reason why I came up with Paintology. Look at that top. It's a bit too light, isn't it? Let's get this. Look how we're doing that. We've almost got some good thing going on here. The rocks here being formed. These dark colors here under the rock bed. Whenever you pick the color, play with it and see what it does. Don't stick to the color and assume you need to use that. Just use it to your own benefit. Create an effect. Okay. There. Now you can see I'm not. If you're not getting the colors, go to your color palette, because if you're working with the rocks, you've probably got a color palette that you can take advantage of. Look at that. It's amazing, isn't it? I'm so glad I've been teaching this training. Live training has surely taught a lot of things to me. It's a method that I wouldn't adopt necessarily for drawing, but you can, right? Seems to be working. Sometimes mishaps happen for the better, right? Don't always assume the worst. Look how it created the whole form, isn't it? I could just I think I'm just going to carry on because I'm enjoying this so much. I hope you're painting along with me and finding new tricks. This is really interesting. I'm picking out the tones around that region, taking advantage of it, and then not sure how that's going to look at the overall composition. But you can see the composition is taking shape, isn't it? I discovered something new again. I might have. I mean, how many people do you know draws like this? It's just incredible. The digital medium stretched to its fullest. I'm just using the colors. Just to give it shape. Is there another rock there? Yeah, there is. Let's get this rock out the way. And then what are these? It's amazing, isn't it, what you can do? Let's get these. And there's obviously these little inklings of then what we got here? Well, that's very interesting, isn't it? I hope you're I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. It just goes to show the power of what can be achieved. It's just incredible. What if I have 3.7%? I'm going to work on this wave, you know? I'm going to see how that I'm going to do that. I'm going to save this. Don't want to lose this work. Amazing. It's like you continue to be amazed, isn't it? I haven't even zoomed in, right? Now look at that area. I'm gonna just capture that. Wow. How about that? Look at that. Look at these spray waves. I don't care if it's, get the dark palette, just put a bit more color to that. Then we have this rush of the That's a nice color. Gonna keep to that. The water coming rushing. I think I can get away with this. Yes. Managed to get away. Wow, how about that? You've been a witness to something that is so... It's like a freakish way of creating art. Isn't it? Such a freakish way of creating art. What was that palette color that I had? This wonderful blue color. Now I don't know which. Let's add some of that white. Yeah, see that? Oh, it's lovely. That's on that black. That's incredible, isn't it? Now let's do that sky, yeah? Gotta fix that sky, baby. Too harsh. Remember, we had such a low density setting, right? So we're gonna have to go back, create the... Come on. Yeah, just too harsh. So what that means is I have to... Sorry, I did some changes. Come on. It's not responding. Here it is. So let's take that. Let's save this so don't... This won't happen to you. It's just that we're prototype. So we're doing very well now, isn't it? We're going to complete this drawing. So fascinating. Oh, it's this color of the sky. Yes, that's what I meant to do. Right, and then let's see that deep blue. Take that. Then we have that lovely, but we've got it as very small. So we'll take it up a notch. Look what we can do. It's like a whole window's opened to the possibilities. There. Let's pick that the lower rib, this cloud. I think I got it a good percentage. Got more control over these clouds. So I'm going to focus on this cloud as well. Got a smaller control over that. So we're going to create this lovely cloud. Right. Then we have these yellow. Yeah. Got this lovely yellow. That we can take it down to have more control. Then I'm not too happy with that, so I'm going to take this. It's actually going here. Bring some of that darker region. If not, that's not working. There, isn't it? There. Then we have that beautiful blue. But then we have that lovely, the white that goes all the way. You see, when you get a handle like this, control like this, can you see what you can do? You're witnessing something unique, not been done before. If you know anyone else who does it, please let me know. Right, look at that, with sense of expanse and space. I mean, we didn't want to go into the details of, let's pick this blue and let it reach out to the nether regions. Even the blue, take some of that blue away. You know, make it look real, right? That's what we want to do. Look at that, isn't it amazing? And now we can fix that. I'm not even zooming in. You know, I'm gonna take that down 20%. Remember, working on without zooming. Always give yourself a challenge. What have we got here? This lovely white right here. Stretch it. We're not getting it increase. Remember, we were using a higher density anyway. I'm just dampening down on that. And then that lovely thing behind that crest of wave, isn't it? Now I'm going to capture more of that lovely white. This on that curve. Just fall out, look. That's too harsh. Might want to do that, why not? Experiment. Don't be afraid. It's like it's tipping over, isn't it? My brain is becoming really attuned to what's happening there. Look. Distance right there. The land. I've got a very 1%. That's the lowest we've been. Just watch these. Just mark the colors and give it more volume. Look at these lovely colors. I'm not adding that rock. So then here. So now it's creating a crest. So let's create that crest of puddles that are formed here. And let's see if we can get away with it. There. See if I can. Wow. is it? All these little things gives it volume and shape. Beautiful, isn't it? Did we capture that white space? Seen that there across that valley? It's all coming from there. Right, and then it's swinging out to a beautiful expanse. Look, it almost looks like a tree. Right, so let's capture some of this experiment. Yes. Why not? Experiment. Wow, isn't it amazing? Okay, here. Finished the drawing, haven't we? Look how the density makes such a difference. This is what you need control over. Once you have this control, believe me, your understanding of drawing will. And this is done on a phone. I can't believe it, is it? And I haven't zoomed out yet. I think I'm not too happy with that. I think I'm still going to do that 2 lines there. Still going to stretch it out there. It's a little bit too harsh, so I can go over it again and then pick a different go over in tone to get the effects you want. That's all you want. It's a bit darker there, so I'm going to go here, there. So we got something that's going on here, isn't it? Let's have a look. Just trying to end that. What do you think? You think that worked out? I mean, I think we are possibly onto something here. What do you think? I think we're definitely onto something. Just add different now. Look what you can do. It's amazing what you can do. It's created this landscape. Well, you know what? I think I'm done. Okay, so the undo feature is when I do the undo, it just goes crazy. It'll come back, don't worry. Okay, here it is. So I'd like to see if you've really learned something from it. I for sure have learned. Never did a drawing like this where I don't zoom in. You know, normally just goes to show how far you can go. Wow, we finished in 1 hour. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and let me show you how you can blend. Not that, not that. Oops, it's too harsh. What's this? Look at that. It's beginning to look like a blooming rock, isn't it? Well, I'm very happy with this, and I hope you are. I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to, and then we did a good time actually, less than 1.5 hours. Sometimes, trust me, I cannot explain it, but sometimes you never know how you're going to surprise yourself. It's too harsh. It's obviously slowed down, isn't it? I'll be lucky if I can save it in a few seconds. But you know, it has given me lots of food for thought, trust me. I hope it has given you room for thought as well. Look how you can produce a painting. It's incredible, isn't it? So without even zooming in. I always thought you needed to zoom in, but there you are. My skills have developed to such an extent, and I've become so tuned in the space of 2 months doing this on a daily basis. Just amazing what you can do. I hope you can also impress your own self by doing drawings. So please subscribe and let others know of this great find. If you're the only one watching it, you know that you've been witness to this incredible way of making drawings. So let everyone know, and I hope to see you tomorrow, and hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Until then, bye bye.